He became a football coach. In fact, he coached his football team to the state championship. And then, as his social conscience, when they started a LGBT group at his high school, he figured he's the football coach. He became the advisor. So he legitimized. So he's always been for the underdog. He's always been for the little people. And that's been his life the whole time. He was in the reserves for 24 years.
You as a congressman?
Congressman, he couldn't pick a better person, all-American. I think he's only worth $200,000. He doesn't have a net worth.
Well, yeah.
He's not a billionaire or a millionaire like a lot of the Republican candidates. And he's just an all-around guy. And God forbid anything were to happen to Kamala Harris, this guy could step in and run things, because he was a congressman and now he was a governor, so he's used to being able to run large organizations. But they haven't been able to find anything. They're trying everything they can. They're trying everything. Oh, they said he got out of the Guard before they were going to
combat.
25 years. Okay. Anybody who wants to criticize them, if they have 25 years in the National Guard, that many years, and you have to go to whatever they send you in the camps and in the summertime, I think the only person that can criticize them is somebody else who's been in the Guard 25 years. And I don't think there's too many people out there. So, Trump, on the other hand, got 5 deferments.
Yeah, but
because he had flat feet.
Yeah, and when the time came, you know, to be recruited at the U.S. Army, he kind of, you know, deviated for not going. So you start seeing the light.
I'm very happy. I see all the young people who are now enthusiastic, who were not before, and they see Kamala Harris as representing their generation. They see her as saving, really, democracy from what I call the forces of evil, because Trump, with his Project 25, which he says he doesn't know what it's about, is going to go into effect if Trump gets reelected. And we'll speak specially to the immigrant population. They're going to stop all immigration, and how it's going to affect the Haitian American people. I can tell you that there'll be mass deportations of any Haitians that they can find in Miami or in the United States who don't have the papers, because he's already promised to do that.
Yeah, he said so.
And then as far as getting your relatives sponsored to come over here, even if they're legitimately have a claim and you sponsor them, they're not going to allow any Haitians to come here, because he's already said on multiple occasions that Haitians carry AIDS. So we shouldn't allow any Haitians come in the United States. So, I mean, how terrible a person he is. And so everybody should be very, very afraid. And October 7th is the day. That's the last day to register to vote. The election's November 5th, but if you're not registered by October 7th, you can't vote. And in Florida, every vote counts. We have 30 electoral ballots. If Trump gets one more vote,
he
gets the whole 30 from the Electoral College. So everybody has to be registered. You have to make sure that everyone in your family's registered. You have to make plans to be at the polls if you don't do an absentee ballot. But this is a crucial election, which is going to affect us more than any election that we've ever had.
Yes, so we were addressing general thing that now let's come.
Let's talk about the meat and potatoes.
Yes.
Okay, so we had 3 new foreclosure cases that we opened in my office this week.
Wow.
And they're accelerating. And one of my clients lost his job.
Wow.
He lost his job in January, and he couldn't make any payments.
Wow.
And so he just now got reemployed in the end of May.
Okay.
And he's making more money, but meanwhile he's in foreclosure. So that he missed those 5 payments. They filed a foreclosure. It doesn't take that many. They can file a foreclosure if you miss 1 payment, but he missed 5 payments.
Meaning 5 months.
5 months. And so now he's in foreclosure. Now we're defending the foreclosure, and now we have to try to get him reinstated.
So he's already received the.
Oh, they
30
already
days-
knocked on the door.
Oh.
Yeah, they knocked on the door. And then and so we're representing him. I know we're going to be able to reinstate his mortgage.
You're sure you will
Yeah,
be able to do that?
yeah, I know we will.
Okay,
I know
good.
we will.
So, people who are listening to us now, every day, every single day, I'm telling people, don't wait for you receive, they knock your door. Don't wait for you get the 30 days later. I've been telling that.
Yeah, well, you're giving very good advice because the last 3 people that I said, they ignored that letter.
Wow.
And I have another client that I opened a foreclosure with. He had a problem at work also, and he lost his job, and so the only job he could get was a part-time job, and it wasn't enough to make the mortgage payments and also be able to feed his family. So the same thing, he got behind. He didn't call anybody, didn't call me. He tried to work out a payment plan with the bank, and he got nowhere. I hate to say it, but the banks don't make it easy. That you need professional help. You need an attorney who has experience dealing with banks, with modifications and reinstatements. And so now he came to us this week with the papers in his hand, and he got served a week ago.
Wow.
And I told him, well, we're gonna file an appearance for him next week. You have 20 days exclusive of the day of service. If you put that foreclosure in the drawer and you forget about it, they'll get a default judgment. And the next thing you know, you'll have a sale date set. And if you ignore that, the next thing the sheriff will come and put a big sticker on your door and say your house is going to be auctioned off tomorrow.
Wow.
And then it's too late. Then it's too late. And that it does happen. We've had people come to us in that kind of situation. Some of them we've actually been able to save, but most of them, if you just ignore it, all it does is it means the bank can take your house away from you, as well as an association. A lot of people don't understand that if you live in an HOA or a condo and you don't pay your association dues, they'll file a foreclosure, and they can take your apartment away, even if it's $3,000.
Wow.
Even if we have one right now, the $3,000 he owes the association, and they file a foreclosure.
Wow.
Well, the attorney's fees for the association is already $4,000. So now he's looking at $10,000 because he didn't pay his fees, and he only owed him $3,000. So.
Avocat va parler avec moi là avec comme sérieusement parce que me connais un pile monde dans milieu là qui trouve dans situation difficile, ça perd du travail yo, ça tout qui pas jouir de santé gain de fois et qui fait que nous connait en retard dans paiement que nous gain vous fait, il dit que le conseil de cas que gain la semaine ça et qu'à tête chargée, gain un cas que au monde qui gon condominium. Mais on connaît dans condo là faut payer fee association donc mon en et quelques mois il pas payer fee association qu'on a que meilleur sorti pour prendre et condo à nomel monde qui gain caille tout me dit nous ça déjà depuis nous commencer recevoir lettre I told them even they receive the first letter they have to quickly call 305-821-5500. Depuis nous recevoir première lettre là, nous pas gain droit d'arrêter attendre jusqu'à ce que nous gain des fois nous mettez lettre l'autre côté nous oublier, mais il gain 3 clients dans explosion semaine ça. Tous les 3 monde ça c'est dans foreclosure, gain qui gain 5 months, 5 mois qu'on est assis dans goumel poilier pour mon cas et faire modifier pour permettre mon gain caille là. But 5 months it's not a lot, but it's 5 months.
They don't have to wait 5 months. As soon as you're 1 month, they send that 30-day letter. But the main thing is, if you're in financial problems. If you can't make your mortgage payment this month. If you can't make your mortgage payment next month. That's the time to call us. Call us as soon as you know you're in trouble, as soon as you've lost your job, as soon as your hours have been cut back, and you know that you're not going to be able to make that mortgage payment next month. Call us then. Call us now, because we can do so many more things for you to keep from having this kind of situation, which just costs you more money in the end. Once they file that foreclosure, it's a $900 filing fee. That's the minimum filing fee. You have to pay that, plus the bank's attorney's fees. the other big thing that we had this week, we did 3 more Lady Bird deeds, and those are deeds that we allow to avoid probate. If you and your wife have a house, you have a daughter, you want to leave the house to your daughter, we do what we call a Lady Bird deed, where the deed goes to you and your wife. You can live in the house as long as you want. You can sell the house, you can mortgage the house, but when the last one of you passes away, the house will automatically go to your daughter or anybody else that you put on the deed. That way you avoid probate, which is very, very expensive and very time-consuming. And so it's a great tool that's used for your planning for your estate when and if the time that you're no longer here. And so we do a lot of those. We have other people that came in this week that never did something like that, and now the parties have passed away. There's no will. Each of the parties had children from their prior marriages. So now we have 6 kids,
Wow.
3 and 3 fighting each other because their parents, who were not the parents of the other 3, this was second marriage for all of them. Now they're all fighting, 6 of them. And so they're now fighting over, and all that's going to happen is the attorneys are going to make money, and there'll be that much money less to distribute to them. So there needs to be family planning. We all know that we live complicated lives. We all know there's second marriages. We know we have kids from one marriage and your spouse has a child from another marriage. Don't put them in that situation. Let us do a will. Let us do a Lady Bird deed.
And everything
Let us
will
do
be fixed.
Everybody should have a will, and then you should have a healthcare surrogate also. If you get sick, and you can't make a medical decision for yourself, you need to have the person that you trust the most to be able to tell the doctor, yeah, go ahead and do this. If you're recommending the surgery, yes, go ahead and do the surgery. It's very crucial nowadays because the hospitals are afraid to do anything if there's someone that doesn't have a piece of paper, which we prepare. It's a healthcare surrogate, or they've appointed somebody who can make that medical decision for you if you can't make it for yourself.
Oh, yeah. One lesson I learned about our conversation this afternoon. When somebody is in the situation of being in foreclosure, don't deal directly with the bank. Don't go there. It's a suicide. And the second lesson is don't wait for 3 months, 4 months. If you know you lose your job, if you know you don't have they cut your hours, well, you know you will be in a situation you won't be able to pay the mortgage. Right away, call your number 305-821-5500. So what is your last words?
The last words are register to vote. We have to win this election. This is going to be the most crucial election in my time and everybody out there that's listening. We cannot let him go back into office. It'll be a disaster for the United States, and it'll be especially a disaster for the Haitian people.
Specifically, last night he lied about the crowd. The crowd, you were there.
I was there.
Martin Luther King.
And let me tell you, it took us, I think, 4 hours to get to where we could see what was going on. They say there were 300 to 400,000 people. Let me tell you, it went from the Lincoln Memorial all the way back, all the way through the ellipse, around the reflecting pool. You couldn't see where the crowd ended. And so he's,
As
I mean,
usual.
he lies every time. And the problem is that there are a lot of people, unfortunately, that still support him. So it's that much more important to make sure that you're registered. You need to make sure, just yourself, but everybody in your family. We all have to be registered, and we all have to be ready to vote come November or before. I'm recommending that the early voting is the ideal thing to do. So they're going to have early voting for a month before. I think it's better to do that because the Republicans are going to play all kinds of tricks on November 5th, especially in Miami, especially in areas where we have Haitian American people, because the Republicans know the Haitian American people are going to vote for Kamala Harris.
They know.
So they're going to have all kinds of misfunctions. They're going to try to keep you from voting. So it's better that we do the early register to vote. It's better to do early voting so that your ballot is already there, waiting to be counted on November 5th. And the last words I want to say, we still have another week before school starts. So that means you're taking your kids to the pool this weekend. And like I said, lifeguard's not watching your kid. He's on the phone with his girlfriend. So your child is in the pool. You stand there by the pool and you watch your child every second they're there. You take them to Crandon Park. You take them to Virginia Key. You take them to the beach. The same thing. You stand there. You don't let your kids out of your sight. Thank you very much for Severe allowing me to be here today.
Always, man. Every Friday.
Every Friday. I really look forward
except
to
you
it.
have to go to Bahamas.
Yeah, except when I...
Thank you very much. Have a great weekend, Mr. Kiel. Eh bien, c'est conversation, nous, chaque vendredi.
Yo dit que nous diviser, li difficile pour nous entendre. Mais dans Miami-Dade, magistrat nous Daniela Levin Cava